So welcome back to Sarah and Lee, and this starts a new travel series for us, doesn't it?
It's a brave decision or a stupid decision. We'll let you be the judge of that, and hopefully we'll see how that progresses. But you'll remember a couple of years ago, the plan was to take Sofia to Spain on the ferry, and we put paid to that with all the problems we were having with the engine. But the engine is behaving.
I'm touching wood.
Touching wood,
Lots of it.
Gripping hold of it. So we kind of figure if we're going to do a European road trip, it's kind of now or never as far as Sofia goes. So we're going to give it a go.
So we've got lots and lots of prep. So we're filming this in June 2024. We don't actually go until the 14th of September, but with a van that's coming up to 34 in August. Lots of prep needs to be done before, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we've got a few jobs to do on her. She's into the garage for a couple of minor repairs to be made that were picked up as minors on the MOT, so she goes in this week. And we're starting some of the cosmetic stuff to make her look a bit smarter. So we've got about 3 months. We also want to get some good weekends away in her, get some miles under the belt, and make sure everything's working before we cross the channel.
So yeah, the only thing we've currently booked so far is the ferry from Dover to Calais. That's booked with Irish Ferries, and we're there till about, I think, the 30th of September.
That's the plan, and we're going to make our way through France, and we're aiming for Rome, or around the Rome area.
Yep.
We're not allowed into any of the big cities because Sofia's emissions don't even qualify for a Critère certificate at all, certainly for France. So we'll be camping away from the major hubs and getting the bus and train in, whatever's appropriate. And of course we've got the electric bikes now, so they might have to give us a lift when we want to see something that's in one of these low emission zones that we can't access.
So I guess if you've ever travelled in a van as old as Sofia, and you've got some hints and tips about travelling across Europe, please pop those in the comments, or some locations where you think that we should visit. That would be amazing. But today's vlog is all about getting Sofia ready. We've got a leak to fix. Lee's going to paint some of the cab. We've got some rust. The list is endless.
It's all cosmetic. So you'll remember a couple of years ago I did the wing, but the one thing I didn't do is treat the rust. And so what I did a very good job on it actually. It looked brand new, but it started to blister with the rust. So I'm going to strip that back, treat the rust, and repaint it. So we've got boxes of primer, of spray paint, of lacquer. We've got new wood because we're replacing some of that inside. The bumper's getting painted, the front grill's getting painted.
Lee's going to make me a table for me to pop my Prosecco on while I'm in bed.
And
we need to do the kitchen. The kitchen needs to be redone.
Yeah, we've got a damp wall in the kitchen that we'll show you, so that's coming out, and we'll hopefully be fixing that or bodging that, whichever way. But yeah, so this is the first. We've included this video as the first of our European road trip, just because that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're getting ready for. You'll see Sofia go into the garage this week for those minor repairs, and you'll see other bits and pieces as we go through. Some trips while we test her, and then departure day, 13th, Friday the 13th of September is our actual project. We didn't think that one through.
No. So everybody keep your fingers crossed for us. I hope you enjoy this new series, and we will take you along for the ride.
Fingers crossed. The first task for today is to do the wing. So that's got some rust spots coming through, so that's going to need rubbing back and some filler. So I've got all that, and then we'll get that painted. So that's job number one.
Let me just show them that bit. That's what it looks like.
The second job is to get the bumper sanded back, and we'll give that a good spray paint as well. So that's been a job I've wanted to do since we got Sofia. It's just gone down and down the list, so today's the day to get that fixed. The bumper has previously been broken. I have made repairs on it before, but now we're going to try and make it look a bit prettier. So that's the bumper job.
Okay, so this is what the bumper looks like currently.
So then I've got the grill to do, because the grill's just missing paint. That's been like it since we got Sofia, and all the surrounds around the lights. So we're going to give that a spray paint, polish that up a little bit.
Lee has told me just in this area here I'm going to get the word Sofia.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
And there's a couple of rust spots on this wing and a bit of cracked paint, so we're going to do that as well.
So this is the side of it.
So we're getting on the sanders. The other job I've got to do is sand down the gear knob, because I've put some filler around that because that was going manky. So we'll show you how that one gets on. I'd done that the other night, so it was hardened and ready to go. So
Lots to do, let's get on.
time to kit up, and June weather is not playing ball, but I don't think it'll rain, so I think we can carry on.
What are you up to?
Sanding that down.
Made a hole?
The hole was there, darling, that's what we're fixing. So now I've got some Genolite rust converter. So apparently this stops the rust in process, which is what I didn't do last time. So I'm going to put this on and leave this for a little while to do its magic, and then I'll be rubbing it back down and starting the painting on the wing. Let's see how this goes. At the moment I'm using some body filler just to fill in some of the holes that was left on the last repair, and see if I can just make it look a little bit smoother at least, so she's not been in a, make it look like she's not been in a fender bender.
So the body filler is all on, just need to wait for that to dry. Lee's also done some of these deep cuts as well. The second coat of the rust preventer has gone on.
So that's it, the bumper's all sanded down as good as we can get it. I've just got to put some metal filler in the wing where the rust hole was, sand that down, and then we're ready to paint. Good
Trip to the pub?
There is a trip to the pub in our future, I think.
I think we deserve it. So what are you going to do now?
So I'm just putting some metal filler into the rust hole.
Because we've treated that 3 times, haven't we?
Yeah, that's been treated.
I'll show you the hole quick. That's the current hole.
I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but
I think my pet rabbits have come into use, haven't they? With their rabbit syringe.
well, that worked better than I thought it was going to work.
You've got that all the way in, haven't you?
It certainly appeared that way. So I've taken the front grille off, and the front grille is going to be painted off the van, so let's just hope I can put it back on.
And you're just wiping it down, aren't you?
Just wiping it down, and then we'll start the primer. So it's not a perfect job, but she's going to look brighter than she did.
She looks a bit bare, doesn't she? Look. The lights are all taped up.
So I think we've had a successful first afternoon, haven't we? We've done the wheel arch, so that's been filled and sanded down. So we continue sanding that down tomorrow. That needs a little bit more time to set. We've fixed the bumper, filled the bumper. It's not the best job in the world, is it? But that's been primed, so that's ready for painting tomorrow. And the grill's been off and back on. I didn't want to leave it off overnight, so that's back on. That's had its first coat of paint, but I've missed a couple of places on there with a filler, so I'll need to just rub those down a quick bit tomorrow. So yeah, all in all, I think a successful day. She's looking a little bit better. It's like polishing a turd.
This is how she currently looks. What's the plan now, Stan?
You promised me the pub. At least a beer. 1, 2, 3. So welcome to a new day. It's now Sunday morning and I'm back in Sofia. So yesterday's painting and jobs went well, and now it's time to carry that on. So I will be sanding down some more bits and pieces. The wing, that needed overnight to go off properly. And I should be starting that very soon. But one of the little jobs I've wanted to do since we got the van is change the gear knob, because that is 34 years old and just falling to bits and just not very nice. I end up with dirty hands when I'm driving the van, just to the I don't even know what it is coming off the gear knob. So a couple of nights ago I've had a bit of an experiment and just covered that in some of the body filler that I use on the outside of the van. And today I'm going to try and sand it down. Now this is going to be a messy job, so Mrs. B is not going to be impressed when I finish this. But take a look, this is what I've got so far. So that was the brown, dirty, grimy gear knob. So that's had a good coat of stuff on it. And I'm going to sand that down and see what I can make it. I didn't want to replace the gear knob because it's been on there a long time, and I didn't want to put any pressure on the gear stick and the gear box. So I'm going to see if this works before I do anything more radical. So let's see what happens. So there she is, all sanded down. I'll give that a wipe and get some paint on it, I think. But so far looking good. So that's the wing all filled in, sanded down and ready for painting. So I'm just going to wipe it down, clean the dust off, and then we'll start the painting job. And we're going to look at the back wall as well and see how this goes.
So the next job on our list is to take a little look at this leak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start peeling off all of the tiles. We do need to redo the whole of the kitchen tile section, as we just can't find the same tile, so we've had to go with a different colour. So this is currently what it looks like. So the whole kitchen area here. And then this here is where the leak is, but we think it's coming from up here. So we've got some work we need to do on that as well. But we just want to pull all this away and have a little look at how bad it is. So we have bought the stuff to do this with, so fingers crossed it's not as bad as we think it's going to be. It's not looking good, is it? Lee.
Not looking good, no. It's wet.
I said I think it's coming from up there, but now I don't think it is it? It's coming from the top, isn't it? Do you think? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's the top.
It's the top, so it's not that. It's not the... Okay.
So it's not looking good. There is quite a lot of damp on this wall here. So I've got a damp wall here, and it's just starting to go onto the back wall as well. But I think that's just where the water's travelling through. I think whoever put the Fiamma blind on didn't do a great job, so I think that's the root cause of the problem, so I'll have to take a look at that. But at the moment we've just stripped off all of Sofia's tiles, and I think we showed that in a video when we did them, didn't we?
I think so.
If you ever want to test a marriage, stick-on tiles is the way to do it. But yeah, so we're stripping back the wood on this wall. We'll have to get that dried out. I think we'll get some wood hardener to treat that, because obviously it's in the main frame. I can't easily replace that. That's a bit beyond my capability, and it's integrated into the van. So I think dry it out, get some wood hardener on it, and then a new piece of marine ply to cover it over, and then obviously see if I need to sort out the root cause of the leak, which I think is probably in the Fiamma blind. So
because it's just so buckled up there, isn't it? It's so tight.
Yeah, so this bolt here, that's where the Fiamma blind comes through. So it was obviously a DIY job by the previous owner, and that's putting through the wall. The wall is firm up there, but just in this area, that's where the damp's coming, and it seems to be radiating down and across the wall. So yeah, the good thing is once it's covered up you won't see it.
We've got new tiles as well, haven't we?
New tiles, so that was another 60 quid I think.
Yeah.
So, and we got to do that job again, so we'll meditate before we do that, I think. But yeah, so at the moment we've got the gear knob that's currently being painted, so that's just had its first coat. We've got the primer that's been across the van, so that's on its first coat. The grille has been spray painted first coat, so we've got quite a lot of jobs on the go at the moment.
Yeah, but look, so this is the current state of play. It's wet there. And then, yeah. Not great, is it?
No, it's one of those jobs you have to make it look really bad before you can make it look better. But poor old Sophia. She'll get there.
Okay, so I've removed all of the wet wood, and this is what we're currently left with. So this is what we're currently left with, all of this. I've took it all the way back. The next steps is we're going to allow that piece of wood to dry. We're then going to buy some wood hardener, and then we're going to see where we go from there. So not horrific.
So the spray job's going well, but now Sarah wants me to do the bonnet. So I'm going to spray the bonnet and see how that goes.
This is what it looks like. So we're going to end this week's vlog here. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. We will see you in part 2 of getting Sophia ready for Europe. See you on the next one.